Bills.
You know.
Bills, burnout, and car insurance. Why the F is adulting so hard? Tell me, right? So, Chris, before we get into that, though, tell me where your headspace at. How you feeling?
Today?
Yeah.
Someone asked me this today. I feel really good. I feel optimistic. I feel hopeful. I feel like clear. I feel really good. It's probably because I started going back to the gym and doing my rhythms.
Oh.
That's adulting. Because
What-
when you're younger, you don't really have to worry about it as much, I don't think.
What you mean? Worry about what?
Like working out as much.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't an athlete. But how are you feeling today?
Today, I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have no complaints on anything. I got some rest. I was super tired yesterday, but
I feel like you never really have complaints on anything.
yeah, because I'm just
Happy
awesome.
Oh, and life is grand. So is adulting hard for you?
What?
I mean, we talking about it.
Adulting is just ghetto, period.
Nobody told us.
Nobody want. I just remember just being grown, not grown, thinking I was grown,
Yeah.
being younger, and like my parents saying, "Oh, you want to be grown so bad? Wait until you get grown." You know how black parents complain, and I'm like, no, I really didn't want to be grown.
You didn't win then?
No, I just was doing me.
No. I feel like every kid wanted to be grown though.
I felt like I did it. No, I wanted to be grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to be grown.
So why you think it's
But
so
I
hard?
don't want being grown and the responsibilities of being grown is really not hitting. It's not
No.
hitting on anything.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So what did you think life was gonna be like when you turned into an adult? When you became an adult?
This is actually a crazy question. And it's not a crazy question because I feel like I should know the answer. But to be honest, I didn't know if I was going to actually be an adult. I never dreamed when I was younger. Everything was about survival.
Gotcha.
And so for me, like the idea of what would I do when I'm 40, didn't even think about it. I didn't really start dreaming until a couple of years ago. So like all I knew at the time when I was growing up is you work, you pay bills. I'm all tongue tied today. You pay bills. That's it. Like I have no idea what was out there.
Yeah.
I knew that I can't remember being a kid and being like, this is what I imagine adult life to be like.
Yeah.
Never. What about you?
I feel like, shoot, ever since I was young, I mean, growing up, so like me and my cousins, we used to play how every kid played house, I feel like.
Every kid.
You know, so playing house was a form of you acting like a grown-up.
That's
right?
a good point.
You know, y'all acting like this person's the kid, this person is the teacher, this person is the parent,
We played
that's the
school.
uncle. Like, we really was being grown.
Yeah.
And we were really acting out what we saw, you know, either within our households or just the people around us that our family put us with. So I feel like from young age, I feel like everybody acted at some form like an adult or wanted to act like an adult. We kind of like had a sense of what being an adult was going to be like. So we understood like, oh, work comes with being an adult.
Yeah.
We understood that, oh, I'm going to have money, you know, well, think that we're going to have money. We automatically thought that, oh, everybody's gonna have kids.
Yeah.
Well, at least for me, you know, these are the things that I feel like I thought when I was younger, playing house, you know. But I also always dreamed, like I already thought I was gonna have kids, be married, and when I think of being a child and looking at adults, I thought all adults was like 40 and over. Like my parents was young.
Yeah.
My parents was like early 30s. They was
Yeah.
like my age. You know, working full-time jobs, getting full benefits, have a house. Like they was really out there grinding and doing it. But the adults back then just seemed so much growner than the adults today.
Yeah.
Like me and my parents today, I really take us as a joke. Like,
What?
and not that we not doing good things,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't have many friends with kids. I have friends that's married, but I don't have many friends with kids and stuff like that. So like, we just be outside,
Yeah.
having a time.
But that makes me think, like, just bringing up, how you looked at your parents before and them being their age, but also being more mature, right? Possibly is what you're saying. And I think about like the access that we have now and the ability that we have now.
Right.
Like watching you, my assumption is, well, knowing and watching you travel often.
Yeah.
Did your parents do that?
No. So we took family trips when my parents were together. When it was just my mom, like, because 4th grade, my parents divorced. So when it was just my mom, we didn't really go on trips like that. My dad would take us on trips, not every year, but like my dad was more so the trip person. Like my dad is more adventurous. So he into biking, he want to go scuba diving, he does all of that. So he goes on a lot of trips. But it wasn't, I didn't see travel like that. Yeah, it wasn't talked about like that.
But do you think that like because of social media, it makes adulting harder, or the need to do harder when you're an adult?
Yeah, I definitely think that because people are seeing. I feel like the difference between back then is you didn't know what everybody was doing in a house.
Right.
Oh, right. Unless somebody told you, you didn't really know. You can make assumptions, but now we kind of know. We know. Like I know that you're in Miami right now, or I know that you and your kids are doing this, etc. Because it's all posted. It's being shown, And then I can always go back. Right. So now I'm keeping. There's people out there. Not saying I do this, but there's people out there that they idolize certain people, whether it's celebrities or whether it's people that they know, and they follow the things that they do, right? Yeah. So when they follow the things that they do, they keep in track.
Yeah.
They understand the timeline, at least from the perspective that they want to understand from,
And so as you were talking about what we were going to talk about today, you had mentioned the headaches of bills. Right. And all those things. Like you played house, as you said. Right. Were y'all paying bills when y'all were playing house? Because we wasn't paying no bills when we were playing
house. And we was keying during house.
So there was no bills?
I don't remember paying no bills. The most we was cooking. Yeah. We was cooking, we was going to sleep. We was in school. Yeah. But I don't remember us being like, oh, let me pay the rent man today.
Wait, super random. Wait, I got to know this. So y'all had like your family dynamic, y'all all playing house or whatever, and y'all played school. Was the mom also the teacher? Like who was playing teacher? I just want to know that a little bit.
So when I did play house, I used to play with my cousins, my first cousins. So it's like 5 of them. And then it's me and my 2 brothers. But my older brother and their older brother, my older cousin, they didn't really play house with us. It was the rest of us.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't. I don't remember us. No, I think we had our role. Like, this is your role.
This your role.
One person always wanted to be the mother. One person always wants to be the teacher. Yeah. Like, we had our roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when you brought that back to when you brought it up, it triggered a memory for me. I'm like, oh, right. We were playing house and we were playing school. So my mom was a foster mom.
Yeah.
And so she had, I won't say a bunch of different children, but she had different children at the house. So I was a foster child at one point. And so I believe that there maybe it's like 5 people.
Yeah.
Or 5 young kids. So we used to all play. But again, there was never a conversation about bills. And now we're adults.
Right.
And here's what I really like. Bills is not my biggest issue as far as being an adult.
Yeah.
My biggest issue or my biggest struggle has been unlearning and relearning and learning.
Okay.
That has been the biggest thing.
Give me an example. Like, what's something that you felt like you had to relearn and unlearn?
What did I feel like? Money.
Okay.
Like, just how to budget. That wasn't taught to me.
Right.
Like the need for multiple accounts, how to build up your credit, how to maintain excellent credit. Like all of these things that weren't taught to me is what I found to be most challenging. Also, how to be a good friend as an adult. how to be a partner as an adult, how to be a mom, like all these other things, like bills. Yes, many years ago, it was hard, right? When I was living from paycheck to paycheck, but that's not actually my story anymore. More now, it's like emotional and mental stuff that feels hard for me as an adult.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that. Excuse me. I feel like I need some water.
You don't want my
I
nasty
always need
coffee?
some water. No, I definitely don't want no coffee. No, but I feel like I get you on that. I feel like with bills, I never really had issues with finances. Even being younger, my first job, like as soon as I got my working papers, I was pressed to get a job. And I've always had a job since 14. And I saved my money for like the things that I wanted. And my mom used to be like, "Oh, you gonna pay your phone bill now," or like you're gonna do this. So like my mom did teach me responsibility, not in a way of sitting down. Like, well, in some aspects, she did sit down and tell me like, "Oh, you have to be responsible for this, that, blah, blah, blah." In some ways, it was more so lessons. Like, this is I'm gonna give you this lesson, and I'm gonna let you figure it out, and then I'm gonna correct you when I need to correct you, type thing. And then financially, as I got older, I mean, I just felt like it just stuck with me. But one thing that I've never learned through my parents was like about like banking and stocks and all of that stuff. So like my mom used to say, "Oh, you like True Religion? Like you should get stocks in that. Or you like this, you should get stocks in it." But it was never a lesson like, "Oh, this is how you do it."
Right.
Because she didn't know how to do it.
She just knew that you should do
like,
it.
"Oh, okay, this is what."
Or you could do it. Yeah.
You know, people probably saying blah blah. It sounds good. I know people that do this, but I don't really know how to do it. But I'm telling my son go do it. Hopefully he go figure it out. It's like, nah, you should have did a little bit more to help me. I mean, now I'm at the point where I have, support in those areas so that I can lean on them and they could, teach me and mold me and help me out with stuff with having a financial advisor. But before then, nah, I didn't know what I was doing,
So what's the hardest thing? So finances right now or bills right now has not been your struggle, or managing bills has not been your struggle. So
yeah, auto pay for me.
Oh, that's
auto
me too.
People hate auto pay.
I don't know why.
And I'm like, just take it out. Take it out.
First of all, I'm forgetful. I don't want to miss nothing. So please take it out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why people don't do auto pay.
Yeah.
No judgment if you don't do auto pay, but also kind of judgment because you should be doing auto pay. That's crazy. All right. So what do you feel like for you? What is the hardest thing about adulting?
The hardest thing? It's a couple of hard things.
All right.
I feel like it's just so many tasks when it comes to adulting, especially when you like adulting on your own. So I feel like when you married or live in the same house as somebody else, you're adulting with other people. So you have accountability.
Yeah.
But when you're by yourself, single, living in your own house, somebody like me that may have multiple businesses, adulting, it's so many things to juggle, So for me, it's sometimes, I mean, I think I manage my time good, but I feel like I can do better. Sometimes I'll be knowing I need to do stuff, and I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Talking about when I mentioned earlier, when we first started, and I had said about car insurance, not car insurance, inspections, car inspections.
Oh, my God.
My car right now, currently, my inspection ticket has been expired since September, and I will not stop. I'll go to work, and I'll probably pass like 2-3 different mechanics.
And it really don't take that long.
It don't take that long, but it's just something about like, I don't feel like I should pay for that. And I know my car is working good.
Hold on real quick though, because since you brought that up, I didn't know that I was supposed to get my car registered again. So I was, for like a year, my license plates expired. Yeah. So like, these are things I didn't know, but good point. All right, so the car inspection.
Yeah, no, car registration be late all the time too. But I wouldn't say it's much that's hard, but things that I could talk about, things that I hate.
All right.
So living in Virginia, one thing that I hate is, why do I gotta pay property tax on my car?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
that's not a New York thing, so I
feel like that is so stupid. Like, why are you making me pay property tax? I'm already paying car insurance and my car note. Or if my car is paid off,
crazy.
Why you still? This not your property. It's my property.
And they be wanting money for that.
Yeah,
it's not
like,
cheap.
Not cheap at all. It'd be like $1,200 because you got a Tesla. Like, what?
I feel that way.
Yeah. Keeping up, too, with my... Well, now my Dominion bill is on auto, but I used to be like late on my Dominion bill, lights out, calling them like, wait, time out, I paid it right now. Can y'all come back?
Turn it back on. It's dark in here.
It's mad dark. Like, now I got to play outside for a little bit till y'all come.
Despite rising societal stressors, it's possible to take care of your well-being. Levels Mental Health provides compassionate care for those experiencing mental health challenges. Our holistic approach addresses anxiety, depression, behavior issues, and trauma, ensuring individuals feel understood. It's time for accessible mental health services for all. Visit levelsmentalhealth.com to learn more, schedule a consultation, or donate to expand outreach and support our community.
I think really navigating relationships is probably the hardest thing as adults too. Like, or in identifying healthy relationships. When you're younger, you're in school, like it's things that you have to do. Like your parents probably gonna throw you in extracurriculum activities. You go to school with a bunch of people, so you're seeing people every day, the same faces, familiar faces in classes with these people for years at a time. It's easier to gain those relationships, right? But once you step out of that zone of like not being in school anymore, you just working, like navigating healthy relationships as an adult it's not that easy. It's easy to find those relationships though when it's fun. So like it's easy to be outside and you know we at the bar, we at the club, and boom, we turning up right now to Afro beats. We having a good time. Yo, I'm gonna hang out with you next week. Yo, pull up. We go to the same spot. This is fun. You know, like you seem fun, but we don't really take the time to get to know that person because we just met them on the aspect of like, oh, I had a good time with you that night over here, and you are a good time in this environment, right? And sometimes people are able to make those relationships, and sometimes it's just fun. And then we get confused when something happens that doesn't really align with maybe our values and morals, and we never take the time to think like, well, damn, I didn't really try to know this person genuinely in the first place. So why am I confused? Why am I confused right now? I think that also, well, you mentioned like relationships with people too. Right? So I want to hear your perspective, matter of fact, as far as like, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think that it's similar to what you were talking about just now. And also, I find it to be incredibly hard to navigate relationships. One, you mentioned a lot of your friends don't have kids. Many of my friends do have kids.
Yeah.
They're also wives. They're also entrepreneurs. I believe, based on the very small population of people that I know in the world, that women tend to, maybe I shouldn't genderize, but like people that are playing a certain role in their household tend to have limited availability than like other people that have more flexibility. And sometimes that can be women being in the house more with the kids and stuff and men being out. And so it makes it very challenging for me and my friends sometimes. We have to be super intentional of seeing each other, and we can't see each other as consistently because they got kids.
Right.
And they got their man. Right? So that's the thing. And so I find that to be hard. Also, I think like something that you mentioned before about friendships. People have their lives already, right? And so oftentimes if I meet adults, obviously, because I ain't hanging out with no kids, but if I meet adults and I like that person, I'm like, oh, you cool, we should hang out.
Yeah.
Fitting into somebody's schedule and becoming a consistent thing when they already have a routine is really challenging.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, oh, this is something else that it's a task.
It's like, it's how a task. I got to put this in. And so, you know, so last year I started to really think more about quality friendships. And I remember in the beginning of the year, I wrote down a list of people that I'm going to pour into this year.
Yeah.
Like, what friendships have not gotten my attention lately that need it? What relationships have not gotten my attention so I can be more intentional about it? But I had to do that because I have a strong community in New York.
Yeah.
And so moving away, it became a lot harder. So I think that's the thing too. And shout out to my New York people that come to see me in Richmond, even though y'all told me y'all will never come see me in Richmond because it's Richmond. But coming here and seeing me,
Yeah.
but that is a lot for them to do that because they all have children or like married.
Yeah.
Many of them actually. So I feel like that relationship thing, and also like relationships are hard as an adult because as you get older, your patience gets thin.
Yeah.
And so I think that those are the things I was talking about when I talk about relationship.
Yeah. You know what? I think what else has been hard, not hard now, but like stepping out is gaining independence or understanding like true independence and what that looks like, right? Because I think as a teenager, like we feel like, oh, I'm independent. I can do this, I can do that. But we going home, somebody cooking for us, somebody buying our clothes, somebody paying our bills. You know, like we already used to the routine that's going on, right? When teenagers mostly talk about independence, they just talking about like going outside and having freedom. That's it.
And then
like
I
want to go outside
you,
and have fun with my friends. That's what they talking about.
And they still calling you to get food, Asia. But that's what they talk about. You absolutely right.
That's all. They ain't got no half of them. Y'all cars that y'all got, y'all parents paying for, right? So then once we step out of that zone of like, okay, we're leaving out the house.
Yeah.
That's really when we, start to gain true independence. I think that it's hard for parents to really help their teenagers develop independence while they're in the house. And it's kind of like, you just got to test and approve throughout the process, and allow that child, young adult, to go ahead and do things and just let them vent and guide them through the process, when they experience hardships.
Yeah.
Because it's totally different when, that moment when you first get your first apartment.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait, more than half my check is going to my bills?
What do you mean?
I got $300 left.
$300? You doing good.
$200? No, like I remember when my first apartment was my senior year in college, and I was where I was working at. I was making minimum wage, so I was making like $7.25.
Damn.
Nothing. I was making $7.25, and then I was working on campus too, making minimum wage.
Yeah.
So I had 2 little minimum wage jobs, so I'm making $14.50 basically.
You doing good. You
doing good. And our rent, I think me and my roommate's rent was like $1,200. So we were splitting everything included. So I just needed to make $600. But it still was a struggle with having 2 jobs, trying to, being in school, taking 18 credits. Well, I think, 18 credits, and trying to pay my bills. So my mom still had to help me. So it wasn't until I moved to Richmond a little bit after I graduated. And the first place I lived in, I moved into a rooming house. I was paying $600. But the job that I was a server at this time. Yeah, so I'm a server. Like, I'm working based on tips, making $2.13. You'll make minimum wage if you don't get minimum wage throughout your shift or whatever. But I mean, the struggle was real. I'm $150, $200 I used to know how to stretch it, like make it last.
But the dollar ain't the dollar like it used to be.
It's not. So
it don't stretch the same.
It don't stretch the same, but I feel like it's still equivalent. And the reason why is because like when I was working jobs, minimum wage $7.25. Now people's minimum wage is $14, $15, right? So yeah,
you feel like
inflation went up, but it's basically the same when you look at minimum wage. Like, okay, you making 15, it would be the same if you worked in 2014 making $7.25 and what the prices were.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like we got anywhere with it, but I feel like, we still solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about, right, car registration being annoying. And then car registration, relationships, independence. So now we're thinking, or let's like just discuss what can make adulting easier for people.
Yeah, that's good. What can make adulting easier?
Possibly.
It's got to start in the household. And the unfortunate thing is everybody don't have it, right? Everybody don't have that support in the household. Everybody has opportunities for support, though. Mm-hmm. So opportunities is always out there. It's just that it has to start early on, whether it's, your early childhood or throughout your adolescence, that somebody has to be teaching you these skills, right? But let's say you have nobody, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's boom, I'm 18 and I'm grown. I feel like I do everything. Don't let you turn 21 and go out there and buy you a little drink. You really grown now. But really, I feel like what can make adulting easier is being surrounded by people who are a little bit more successful than you.
Absolutely.
Right? Because those are the people that you're going to learn from.
Yes.
Like, if everybody you hang out with is on the same level as you, you're not doing good.
Or under.
You're not doing good. You have to.
Not like that, but you know what I mean. Not like, I don't like how that sounds. Okay.
You have to have people that you look up to.
And that is law.
Yeah. That's facts.
Yes.
Facts. Mm-hmm. We really need to do good as a unit. When I say unit, I'm talking about all adults. As a unit with time management. Mm-hmm. Time management is like really the key to success. Yeah. But everything you talk about when it comes business related or even just getting tasks done, it falls on time management.
That's true.
We got 24 hours in a day, so we got to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So the things that we want to do and accomplish, we got to be able to, figure out where does this fit at in my schedule.
Yeah. That's so important.
Yeah. I will also say learning about finances is very important.
Very important.
Very important because that's the key. They say money make the world go around, right? Mm-hmm. So money make the world go around.
Whoever they said it.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins. Mm-hmm. If all of this is about money and you don't know how to handle it and you mismanage it, your world gonna stop.
Yeah, which I cannot wait until we do our financial episode because that's important too.
Yes. But those would be my top 3. Yeah. What would you add to that?
Learning and relearning, I think is so important. We do ourselves a disservice when we are not following, and I'm only saying following because people are heavy on social media, but following the right accounts. There's opportunity for you to learn. If you want to learn how to be more, if you want to have a healthier relationship with your partner, you can follow the Gottman Institute. They're the researchers behind love languages. They're on Instagram. If you want to learn about money and how to manage your finances a little better, you can watch Earn Your Leisure. If you want to learn about just relationship or just mindfulness and thoughtfulness, you might want to watch Jay Schwitty, right? Yeah. There's things for you to do. And so I would say to do something like that, to learn and unlearn, to be real about where you are at and then ask for help. I think adulting is also asking for help and trying to find people that can support you. So that's the only 2 that I have right now. If I think about another one, I'll add it on another podcast episode.
Copy.
Yeah, so.
Well, this was fun today. This was fun. I definitely want to hear back from, the audience when y'all hear this episode. Why the F is adulting so hard. Thank you for tuning in today, and we look forward to chatting with y'all soon.
All right.